So Iain, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, well, until fairly recently, I was a solicitor in a law firm in the sort of City of London. I then got cancer for a while, and then as soon as I was in remission from cancer, I had a stroke. So now I'm not working. Yeah.
But I know you're a student.
Yeah, indeed. I'm a student in history of art. So I'm doing a sort of second degree. It's 40 years on from my first degree. In history of art, which is very good.
Yeah, great. So Iain, we're having this conversation because you came to one of our intensive conversation groups, which finished about a month ago now,
Yeah.
I think it was. And the group was delivering the Better Conversations with Aphasia training. And there were 5 couples who came to the group, you and your partner being one. And there was a range of people with a range of different aphasia severity and a range of communication skills and strategies. And I guess just for a bit of context, the objective of the group was to get you all to think a bit about how conversations work, all those unconscious rules that we follow that we don't know anything about.
Yeah.
And also then thinking about individually your own conversations together. So you did some video recording for us of a conversation with your partner. And we looked at some clips of that to look at what was working well in the conversation, some nice strategies that you'd developed, but also what was a bit more challenging.
Yeah.
And then thought about some goals to work on and to practice throughout the group.
Yeah.
So it'd be really interesting to hear your reflections on what you got out of that process.
So nobody had particularly watched a video of myself and Kirsty having a conversation with each other, and conversation is probably one of the most useful things you can have with a partner to progress things and understand things. And one of the things that became apparent for the way that I contributed to a conversation was that, 2 things. One was I don't inject any humour into a conversation, partly because I've got a sort of freezing effect from the stroke. So my impressions, the way that I react isn't reflected in my face. So I've got to inject a bit more humour into my interjections. That was the first thing. The second thing was, and this is something that Kirsty has to. It's about recognising the fact that he's not angry about what we're trying to have a conversation about. I go into a period where I'm listening, and my face is doing the thing that my face does. So you can be misled. I think misled into feeling that how come this guy's angry? So those are the 2 things that we've been working on since then.
Yeah, and were those things that you? I'm wondering how much the video and the video reflection allowed you to explore those things together. Do you think that's a conversation that you would have had about interacting without using the video?
Yeah, we wouldn't have had it without it being videoed. I think it's the thing that a video gives you a chance to look at yourself critically, rather than reflecting on something back, out of memory. So looking at it with some expert people as well, and taking it one by one really helped us to look at it and reflect on it. better than unless if it wasn't videos.
Must have been hard seeing yourself on video.
Yeah, it did a bit. I mean, I didn't realise the things that were happening with my face. So that was a bit dramatic. But there's quite a lot of dramaticness to see about yourself with aphasia. There's lots of different things that you're having to look at, and that was just one of them.
So has anything changed for you after the group? What are your thoughts on it now? How helpful has it been?
It's been very helpful. I think for the partners, there's been a real the conversations for patients. I think are fairly clear, and there's something that we can work on with the conversations. I think it was interesting for the people with aphasia seeing how their partners were able to take lessons from what was happening in the room. So you would see another partner having to support somebody in a way that you hadn't done. So it gave us sort of a key that one person was doing that you weren't doing, and the other way around. And I think for the partners, it was a real eye opening for them, and for the people with aphasia also, we got to see the real range of access to language that people have. For me, there were people that were getting better handle on it, and there were some who were still struggling with things, and it gave me a real sense of what a challenge it was for everybody.
Yeah. Do you think, what would Kirsty say in terms of her experience of the training? Did she would she say anything had changed about conversations, do you think? Yeah,
I think so. We've taken the questions, the things from the video, and tried to put them into action, and I think we've seen that happen. I mean, it's a long process, isn't it? I'm forever in recovery in this, and probably always will be. But yeah, that's been a real sort of that's been one thing that we've been able to look and gain from the conversation. And the other thing that I probably didn't realise was that a conversation between two people, one with aphasia and one who didn't have aphasia, is you're no longer it's no longer a sort of peer conversation. For most conversations between adults, you're basically of equal status. Whereas I think for most people with aphasia, or maybe all people with aphasia, there's a certain thing that you can't do. Whether it's sorting something out with a third party or just speaking. So you always need your partner to do that for you. And so you're no longer, it's no longer one-on-one. You're very much sort of, you're looking up to somebody saying, how can I help? How can I get some help from you here? And that's probably been quite a big thing for me to realise that I'm always going to be asking for help now. And I think I sort of sense that with the other partners as well.
Yeah. Do you think? Finally, any thoughts about any ways that we could change the training to help you feel more independent with conversations?
Yeah, so like I said at the start, conversation is a basic tool. You need it to get through the day, and that I'm sure that if there were a sort of part two, you could get into a situation where you weren't just basically making conversations work because they've got to work, because it's getting around to doing something positive. How can it work if you're getting around to doing something which is a problem? Where there is a real thing that needs to be got round, you know, in family life or whatever the relationship is. You know, where sometimes people are not in control of a conversation. You know, maybe the partner is in control, or the person with aphasia. How then could you navigate those kind of conversations, which probably, you know, has as different, not different necessarily, but, you know, alternative ways through it.
So there's more challenging conversations that we all have every day about where we fundamentally disagree with something, or can't come to a shared decision on something, or
Exactly, yeah.
Or difficult issues going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, part 2. I like it. We'll work on it.
Okay.
Thanks, Iain.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you.